Peak Performance Coach Madden here. Today we'll cover principle number 7, deep learning, one of our 7 principles of time mastery from 1% Warrior Leadership, now available on Amazon, on my website, coachajmadden.com. Let's jump right into the principle of deep learning. And there's more than one way to learn deeply. Some people prefer reading. Some people prefer audiobooks, others podcasts, others going directly to the source, going to a mentor. Others prefer to study and model success. Some people hire a coach. Some people prefer all of them together, but have a certain preference to one or two that they do more than the others. I try to take in information any which way I can and use all the things I just listed. Books, podcasts, audiobooks, articles, documentaries, mentors, coaches, all of the above. And it doesn't matter how you get the information. It matters that you embrace deep learning and a continuous improvement mindset in terms to your knowledge, that you embrace self-education, that you understand the concept of modeling, and you value the concept of mentoring. I have what I call the M3 method, and I teach this to pretty much all my clients that I've ever worked with. 3 M's. I call it the only 3 shortcuts to success. Number 1 is mentoring, number 2 is modeling, and number 3 is most impactful material. Out of those 3, the mentoring, finding a mentor who's 5 to 50 years ahead of you, is the highest impact by far. That is the biggest shortcut to success because they'll tell you exactly what not to do. Number 2 is modeling success. Success leaves clues. Ultra powerful. Not enough people use this. Instead, they try to figure it out themselves or find a way. Now, that doesn't mean you have to copy everything that successful people do. You pick and choose what you think is useful. You get the fundamentals down, and what you'll find is people who perform at a best-in-class level in any discipline, whether it's sports, law enforcement, business, martial arts, gardening, it doesn't matter. They all do things about 80 to 90% the same. That last 10 to 20% is where their own life experience and personality type comes into play. But the 80 to 90% they all do the same are the fundamentals of the discipline. Once you get the fundamentals down, you can start breaking the rules potentially, or you never do. And you stand on the fundamentals, but you add your own creativity to it, which leads to innovation in your field. But you want to understand fundamental principles of any discipline you're trying to learn. Get those 3 to 6 fundamentals, that 80 to 90% that the elite performers in any field, the high achievers, the highest achievers have mastered, and then add your own creativity, your own innovation, your own flair. So that's where modeling comes in. And number 3 is the most impactful material. That's books, audiobooks, documentaries, podcasts, articles, seminars, lectures, all the above. Again, mentorship is the most powerful, going right to the source. There's a Japanese quote, I believe it's a Japanese quote, and it says that one good mentor is worth 1,000 books, something to that effect. And essentially what it's saying is going to a mentor is exponentially more efficient and effective than reading a ton of books. Now you can supplement your mentorship by reading and listening to podcasts, but if you want the most powerful, go find a mentor. You'll find that many will do it for free. They'll talk to you once a month for half an hour. But no one asks. That's the secret. Almost no one asks these elite performers to mentor them. And some people will definitely say no. They don't have the time or the desire to do it. But many, I've found over the years, will say yes. I've had a habit of cold calling people that I wanted to learn from directly. Some of the best in the country or even the world at what they do. A cold call, just asking, a cold email, hey, can I get 15 minutes of your time, half an hour of your time? People have said yes. As long as you're a good student, a respectful student, and you respect their time and you listen to them. One of the biggest mistakes I see when someone asks for advice from someone they'd like to learn from, someone who's ahead of them 5 to 30 years, 50 years of what they want to do, they talk too much. They want to tell that person what they've already done or what they know. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. That's a great way to lose a mentor, someone who's giving you their time, because it's a huge time waster. They don't need to know what you know already or what you've done. You need to ask them what they know and listen to what they say without interruption, without, oh, I already know that, or I did that, or I try, be respectful and just listen, even if you already do know it, because some of this things they say you might already know. Just sit there and listen respectfully. Say thank you, respect their time, be on time, end the session when you say you're going to session. Don't abuse their time. Give a thoughtful gift. Most people, a lot of mentors will not want to be compensated. If you can make a donation to a charity they care about, if you can give them a thoughtful gift, a gift card to their favorite store or restaurant, if you can volunteer your time to something, to their organization, something that you have a skill set in that they might find useful, that's a great way to say thank you to a mentor. It's a great way to keep a mentor. Again, be extremely polite, be on time, don't abuse their time, and be grateful. It's a great way to keep a mentor. And then just ask. People, you'll get rejected, but you're no better off or worse off than before you asked for someone to mentor you. Let me give you some examples from some modeling examples. Those who modeled success, and these are world-class achievers who modeled the success of world-class achievers who preceded them. Kobe Bryant studied Michael Jordan. Jeff Bezos studied Sam Walton. Brad Stevens studied John Wooden. Urban Meyer studied Bill Walsh. Mark Zuckerberg studied Bill Gates. Ryan Holiday studied Robert Greene. Mike Tyson studied Alexander the Great. Abraham Lincoln studied George Washington. Franklin Delano Roosevelt studied Teddy Roosevelt. And Muhammad Ali studied Sugar Ray Robinson. Here's a quote from Dan Kennedy. And he wrote a book called No BS Time Management. He wrote a great series called No BS, many business lessons, business topics. And in No BS Time Management, he talks about the power of association. And here's the quote. The phrase time management is an accurate shorthand. You can only manage things that affect your ability to convert time to value, like environment, access, and all the other things discussed in this book. One of the most significant that you can control to a great extent is association. Your choices of who you permit into your world, whom you give time to or invest time with, and whom you look to for ideas, information, and education. Each minute of your time is made more or less valuable by the condition of your mind, and it is constantly being conditioned by association. Association being the people that you surround yourself with. The law of association, you become who you surround yourself with most. Let's talk about going to Mount Rushmore. It's a phrase I use often with clients. Go to Mount Rushmore means go study the top 4 in your field. If you are trying to become great, elite, world-class at something, study the Mount Rushmore of your field. Now, this may be slightly subjective in terms of who you think is on the Mount Rushmore versus who someone else may think. There may be a top 10 there that you can take a look at and then narrow it down to your 4 because they resonate and maybe they are doing things more closely to what your goals are. So essentially, you can narrow it down to a top 10 and then narrow it down to your top 4 and take a deep dive into that top 4. When I say that, I mean read biographies and autobiographies of these people. Listen to their lectures. Read their articles. Watch documentaries about them. Do everything you can to absorb. And if you can, even better, meet them in person if that's possible. Talk to people who know them. Read what people say who knew them. Study their results and their greatest achievements and how they got there, the path they took. This is going to Mount Rushmore. Once you take that deep dive, you will begin to see that they do things 80, 90% the same way. The last 10 to 20% is their own life experience and that led to creativity and innovations. All right, their own life experience and their own DNA, how their brains work, that will lead to this innovations and doing things differently in the field. But studying Mount Rushmore, you're looking for those patterns of success, the systems they use, the 3 to 6 core fundamentals and principles that they follow, that they mastered in their field. Let me give you some examples of Mount Rushmores from different disciplines. And again, these are just examples. Your Mount Rushmore might be different than mine, but this is just food for thought. So if you're trying to be elite as a sports coach, here's 4 sports coaches to study: John Wooden, Nick Saban, Phil Jackson, and Bill Walsh. U.S. presidents, if you have aspirations of high-level office: Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Teddy Roosevelt, 4 presidents. Military generals: George Patton, James Mattis, Alexander the Great, and Napoleon Bonaparte. Business, you're trying to become world-class at business, create a world-class business: John D. Rockefeller, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Sam Walton. If you'd like to study businesses themselves, general businesses themselves, this is general business, not specific: Amazon, Walmart, Microsoft, and McDonald's. If you're looking to invent something, if you're an inventor or a scientist or an engineer, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, Leonardo da Vinci, and Ben Franklin. And if you're an athlete and you want to become world-class at what you do, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, or Michael Phelps. These are just examples of going to Mount Rushmore, studying their habits. What does their day look like? That's a crucial thing to look at. Show me your day, I'll show you your future. Look at their day and see what they do in a day. That's a great thing to study. Look at the materials they took in and read. Who were their mentors? Who did they look up to? Who were their heroes? Study them. Success leaves clues. This is one of the biggest shortcuts, okay? I gave you 3 of what I call the only shortcuts to success. That's our M3 method. And essentially what we're doing is we're leveraging other people's knowledge here. It's a shortcut because we're leveraging other people's knowledge and experience. The wisest stand on the shoulders of giants. They stand on the shoulders of the best who have done it. They learn from the best, they study the best. The wisest people learn from the mistakes of others. They don't make them themselves, they study the mistakes of history and do everything they can to avoid them. So we have, principle number 7, deep learning, leveraging other people's knowledge, M3 method, mentorship, modeling, go to Mount Rushmore there, and most impactful material. Study the best of the best books of in your field, the best podcasts. Go to the top. Go to the Mount Rushmore even in your most impactful material, because you can drown in information. Figure out what the best material is in your field, the best books, the best podcasts, the best documentaries, and start there and go deep into them. Take a deep dive into them rather than taking a narrow dive, going really wide, taking a narrow dive into a really wide area. Go deep into the best, into the Mount Rushmore. Go out and find mentors, and even go hire a coach. Go hire a coach that you cannot afford. Why do I say that? Because it's one of the best investments you can ever make, which is in yourself. A great coach, whether it's a sports coach, a business coach, a leadership coach, whatever the case may be, relationship coach, a personal trainer, a martial arts instructor. Go out and find the best. Leverage your time. This is a secret of the highest achievers. Easily leveraging other people's knowledge. One of the elusively obvious secrets of the highest achievers of all time. You see it over and over and over again with almost no exceptions. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please click like and subscribe. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you believe will also find it helpful. I wish you success and happiness. And I challenge you to take a deep dive and look at those 3 shortcuts of success and use those tools to take things to the next level.